and we thank you for joining us on this very important day, celebrating International Human Rights Day and the 60th anniversary of the UN Declaration of Human Rights. My name is Alistair Smith, and I am the President of the Board of the BC Human Rights Coalition. Today, we are saddened that we should, after 60 years, still need to talk about human trafficking. That this tragic enterprise would still be in existence is a travesty and a shameful disgrace for all of humanity. Human trafficking is a global problem, and Canada has been identified as both a transit and a destination point for human trafficking, and our city, Vancouver, has been singled out by the U.S. State Department as a port of major concern. At the same time, we are hopeful, and we hope that today's seminar will bring some hope. We are hopeful that with the help of our panel, we might find some measures at the local, provincial, federal, and international levels to work towards a ridding of slavery and human trafficking once and for all from our respective societies, and that each of us, white, brown, yellow, black, red, male, female, gay, and straight, will one day live in a world, in fact, where every human being is born free and equal in dignity and rights. To help us today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the multi-award-winning members of our panel, each of whom will give a short presentation in their respective area of expertise, and then we'll open the floor to questions. So starting on my immediate left, and I'll introduce everybody, and then we'll start with Gail. Ms. Gail Davidson is co-founder and chair of Lawyers Against the War, a Canada-based committee of jurists and others who oppose war and promote adherence to international humanitarian law. She is also founder and executive director of Lawyers Rghts Watch Canada, a committee of Canadian lawyers who promote human rights and the rule of law internationally by providing support to lawyers and other human rights defenders in danger because of their advocacy. To her left, Senator Mobina Jaffer was born in Uganda and educated in both England and Canada. She was the first East Indian lawyer in British Columbia. Her appointment to the Senate in 2001 represented many changes on Parliament Hill. She became the first Muslim to sit in the Canadian Senate. She is also the first African-born senator and the first senator of South Asian descent. She wears these honors with pride, and her time in the Senate has focused on issues involving immigrant communities and minority women, as well as human and language rights. The very, very small person to her left is Professor Benjamin Perrin. Professor Perrin will join us very soon, we hope. Professor Perrin is a member of the UBC Faculty of Law and is a faculty associate at the Liu Institute for Global Issues, as well as the Peter Wall Institute for Advanced Studies. His teaching and research interests include domestic and international criminal law, international humanitarian law, and human trafficking. Professor Perrin is also the founder of the Future Group, and he served as executive director of this non-governmental organization that combats human trafficking from 2000 to 2006. The Future Group works with victims overseas, assists with the extraterritorial prosecution of offenders, and conducts public policy research on the issue. Next, Ms. Robin Pike has a 30-year background in child welfare within both government and community agencies. Robin joined BC's Ministry of Children and Family Development in 1999 to develop services for a large group of migrant youth arriving off BC's coast that summer. In July of 2007, Robin joined BC's Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General as Executive Director of the new Office to Combat Trafficking in Persons. And to Robin's left, Ms. Nori de Valencia has served for the last 20 years with the Canadian Council for Refugees, including serving on the Council's Trafficking Committee. She also serves with the Anglican Refugee Network under the private sponsorship of the Refugees Program. This program resettles approximately 3,000 refugees to Canada every year. Nori co-chaired the Vancouver Anti-Trafficking Coalition from 2005 to 2006.